again just to check how his cauliflower's getting on, make sure nothing else is blown. And there's one that's just starting. There are a lot of them that are still fine, but I'll probably take a few tonight just to save risking them losing any more, because it'll probably be another 4 or 5 days before I can get down again, and that's all it takes really. I'll have a quick look round. There's a couple of other things that have cropped up, so we'll have a look. So it's only going to be a short video just to try and update you as I'm going along. So I'll get a camera and we'll have a quick look around. Right, we'll have a look at this cauliflower first. So they're not massive, but they're a good size, you know, 5-6 inch. They're plenty big enough for what I need. I've still got some left over from last year, so I'm not bothered about taking them on the small side. It's better than taking them when they're blown, because there is one here that's it's starting to sort of lose its nice tight compact head, so that's prime. That's definitely going tonight. Ones like that, quite small, I can chance leaving that. But yeah, there'll be quite a few to take. I don't know how many's left in that bed. If there's about 20 or something, so I'll probably take maybe 10, 15 home tonight, maybe 10. Sweet corn's doing its thing. It's probably very dry, because I know there's stuff been tunnelling down under here. Some of my garlic's began to topple, which kind of says it's pretty much all ready. Obviously rust is taking a good hold, so I won't be planting any more spring onions here and nothing like that this season. I can't see any seed spikes, and nothing's gone to seed. Same for my onions. I've not got any seed spikes on my onions. I've had a couple more that have kind of rotted off a little bit, but they're all still standing, the red spark. Mildew will hit these at any time now, so I'll pull them out when it gets to that point. But I'll get a crop, so I'm happy about that. I've picked some courgettes and some blueberries. That's one of the first jobs I did when I came on, and I've looked up here at the Santero white onions. When I come down in a few days, and that I'll probably try and clean some of this sort of this foliage here, this stuff that's kind of spent, get it out of the way. It's just more to rot. Get good airflow around them just to try and finish them off. They should topple in a couple of weeks then. The only thing I'm really concerned about is I think blight's arrived. I was suspect when I last came down, but it's I don't know, it's this Maris pears, and they've just not had long enough in the ground. I mean, it was probably about 20th of April they went in, so they are not ready. So I'm hoping that I can bide a bit of time. I'm going to spray them, but if it starts to take over, so I'm going to have to start coming every sort of 3 to 4 days now, just to keep an eye, because once it starts to take hold, I've got to get the tops off. It always starts with a little patch, and I think this is the patch here. It started. I've kind of got some of the foliage away, but you know, we've had rain and everything like that, so if the spore's been about, they'll be on all of them. Some are a bit more resistant than other plants, you know, but I mean, with my second earlies, there'll be something on them, but not massive. The jazzies might be okay. There's no sign on my Charlottes as such as yet, but I reckon it'll start to spread out from this area and get worse. So I'm going to spray them. I've got some blight guard, which is done by JBA, which is known as Jameson's, which is JBA seed potatoes. So I didn't use it last year because blight arrived in August, so this year it's early. So I'm going to pull some cauliflower and then mix some spray up and get these sprayed, I think. Better to be safe than sorry. Right, so I've got my secateurs and a knife. I'll probably just try and cut it off with a knife and then move it out of the way and deal with it, and then cut the plants off for now. I will pull the roots out, because obviously where these are positioned will be where the next batch will go, so I don't want big sort of stalks in the way when I plant the next slope. So I'll simply go underneath, find a bit of foliage, break that off, and just try and cut it just beneath the curd. And get them like that. Put that there. It's a good sized collie. Nothing massive, you know, but it's better taking like this, and should you not be able to get down for a few days, I mean, you don't need much time for them to suddenly go from this to, and you've lost them then. And shock horror I had with my peas. I don't want to risk any more sort of losses because them peas they were really hard. I'll probably just I have podded most of them, but I'll probably just seed them, to be honest. I cooked some and they were tough as old boots. I thought they would be. I've got tons of seed. Because some of these, just looking at, I know they won't get any bigger because they're starting to get a bit tatty. Before the slugs get in and cause absolute havoc with them, I might as well take what I can. Yeah, still quite a lot from last year. Yeah, they're nice and fairly clean. Can't see any slugs in that. There probably will be the odd little tiny one. So let's have a look. This one that's blown a bit. See if there's any more. Probably I'll take this one. Because they're generally a smaller plant this year. I think that was just to do with the big long dry spell. But you know, to still achieve a crop out of it, then I am happy with that. It's a nice clean curd in there. Just they'll probably wait them. That one's starting to open out. You know what? Because they're clean, I'm going to take them. I don't mind if they're half inch smaller or something, but it's a nice little curd. Oh, look, have we got any more? I'll leave that one. Take a gamble with it. I just saw one that looked a bit tatty there, but yeah, it's started opening out. Fly in there. Get rid of that. Yeah, that was not going to get any bigger, that one. Well, it isn't now. I've cut it off anyway. I'll get them in the tub and then I'll clear the rest of this foliage off the ones that I've just cut off. And then we'll have a look at them. See what, though, you can get hold of them. These trays, they're actually really handy for stuff. You know, because they're actually handy for storing potatoes in as well in the shed. You can actually access them as long as your shed's dark and it's fairly frost free. You can always cover them with a bit of cardboard or something, but it gives them a bit of airflow and you can keep a check on potatoes and stuff. But they're great for anything. You know, in the earlier months you could line them with some membrane, fill up with compost and grow some lettuce in them or radish and stuff like that. So they're handy trays. It's just a supermarket tray. Because during COVID, we were getting the shopping delivered, and I just said to the driver, I said, "Oh, it'll be handy then." But this element, he just said, "Oh, I'll give you some, mate," you know. So I think he was just eager to get off his shift, I think. So I just said, "Oh, the ones that you got there, just keep them." So I thought, well, I'm good with that. That's all the collie. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that, so I just need to clear up a bit now. How easy these will pull out. Not very easy. enough for me. Pull them out like that, whack them straight in the compost bin. Because when you throw your compost on the soil, you can rake it around, any stalks and that haven't composted down. Rake off, stick them back in the next little compost. It is quite weed free in here, which is nice. Oh, not massive roots, but healthy roots, no club root or anything like that, which is always handy. Yeah, it's like that middle row. Yeah, some yellow foliage I could take off, but I'll probably leave that for now. Right, let's see. Bits of orange drinking straws popping up everywhere from when I planted them out. Just see them all sat by the side of the plants. But it served its purpose. And it's surprising this time of year when you start doing this how fast your compost bin grows. I don't know if you can see that, there's a bit of the drinking straw, the original. I mean, they just ping open. And while I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep a conscious effort of looking around for cabbage whites, butterflies. I mean, it's a bit late for them to do any damage to these. I'm hoping that within the next 2 weeks we'll have a full fresh batch of cauliflower in it. Yeah, because I won't be replanting all the beds up. I've no need to, so it's pointless just growing stuff for the sake of growing. You know, if I can get an early finish on it on the plot and get it prepped up, less to do next year. Because if I leave it too late, the wet weather will arrive, and then we're back to square one again, where it's a nightmare to work on the plot. I'll puzzle these other ones up as well as I go along that I harvested last time. I mean, I'm not a big fan of cauliflower. I've been sort of mixing it in with some stuff. And it's not been too bad, to be honest. Baby leather jacket here. Hoping they'd bugger off by now, because I've not put drinking straws on my new plants. So that'll be a real pain, that, when I plant them all in, they all get nobbled off. Is that everything out? Yep, I'll just get some of these really bad leaves off, because they're just going to deprive the plant of putting the energy into the curd. I mean, that one's tiny. Had me a few more broccoli side shoots as well. Spider under there. But it's good because I'm not spotting no aphids, which is good. If you start getting a lot of aphids in, there's problems. I think that's pretty. Always looks a bit sad to see it all patchy the bed like that. There's still time in the season. And always be willing to put some extra seeds in, just in case you get enough time for a bonus crop. I'll get this cleared up and get this net back down, and I'll get some spraying on the spuds done. That's it for this video. Just a bit of a harvest video and a quick look around at some things that have changed, but most of it's the same as the last video really. it's just cropping and cropping now, and dealing with whatever Mother Nature throws at you problem-wise. So 11 cauliflowers, a few broccoli side shoots in there, you know, probably a pound of blueberries, something like that, and courgettes. Always best to pick your courgettes, you know, quite small. They do get a bit bigger. I wouldn't like to take them any bigger than that, otherwise you're borderline marrow. They start getting a bit seedy. But variety of the cauliflowers Clapton. These are Defender. The yellow ones I can't remember. Blueberries are a mix, and obviously the broccoli is the Aquils. So that's it for this video. So I'm going to spray my potatoes. I'm not going to bother boring you seeing me spray. It's just I've had this bottle for a good few years because it does last a long time. So it's called JBA Blight Guard. It comes in a little bottle like this, got a measuring thing at the side of it, and basically you mix 10 ml of this, will do 5 litres. So you're supposed to spray it on top and underneath the foliage. Well, I've no chance of getting anything underneath. I used to always start spraying at the start of June, but last year I didn't, and this year I didn't, and I got away with it last year. Blight came up late, but you know, it's one of the things, you take the gamble, and you know, it doesn't always pay off. But I'll still get some spuds, you know, provided I don't let the plant rot completely down. So if you've got like a hefty patch of blight, get the tops off. You can dig your potatoes up if you want, but I tend to leave them in the ground a little bit. The thing with doing that is it opens up. It tends to, when you cut the tops off, the slugs like to go in then, especially if it's wet, and wait for a dry day to dig my potatoes up to get them, you know, cleaned off, and then let them dry in the sun, and then just keep checking on them for the coming weeks. And if nothing starts to rot on any, they'll be fine. But if you only need one in a sack to start going rotten, and leak the spores out, and it'll rot the rest of them. So it is a nuisance blight, you know, and this is why people do mainly first and second earlies, because sometimes you can get away with it. Main croppers need a bit longer, so they tend to get hit by blight. So I'm going to get on, give these a spray. I'm just going to put 5 litres over them, and just to try and kill some spores. If there's any fresh spores that have settled, it'll get rid of them. But once you've got blight, you can't really get rid of it. It goes into the plant. It's washed in with water, you know, from rain. Basically, spores could have landed a month ago, and that big long dry hot spell we had, and then we've had some rain that's washed it in. It usually takes, I found, about 2 weeks after it's infected that the signs show. It's okay on some of the foliage, but once it starts going down the halm, you know, down the centre bit, and it's working its way down to the tubers then. And just when you take your tops off, make sure you clear all the old foliage away, and that they're nicely held up, the spuds, and protected. Because if there's any potatoes exposed, they'll cop for it as well. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be garlic, a bit from the back garden, a bit of a mixture really, but more harvesting anyway. So see you then, bye now.